Hello and welcome back to World of Tanks with Professor R. Today we're going to be taking a look at the ISU-152, and in case you didn't know already, it is the Tier 8, well, one of the Tier 8 Russian tank destroyers. I guess it would be more Soviet Union from this time period. But here we have it, the ISU-152. I'm just going to go over the basic stats in the garage, and then we'll look at a few replays. So, like I said earlier, it's a Tier 8, it's a Soviet tank destroyer. It has 1,010 hit points. It weighs, well, with my configuration, it weighs 50 tons. It has a 700 horsepower engine. It can hit its top speed limit of 43 kilometers an hour. It doesn't always, but it can do it sometimes. Traverse speed 21 degrees per second. I don't expect this to be a good stat because it is a tank destroyer. And of course, being a tank destroyer, it has little to no armor, only 90 millimeters. The only real thing the ISU has going for it, armor-wise, is this big gun mantlet right here. As you can see from the side, it's pretty big. But other than that, this tank doesn't really have much armor. Occasionally you can get lucky if someone like shoots poorly. It will bounce off of this kind of upper plate right here. Other than that, it'll probably penetrate you. We'll get to the gun in a minute, and we'll take a look at everything else first. 26 gun traverse speed, that doesn't really matter since the tank destroyer. It's not as important as, let's say, for a heavy tank. It has a 370 meter view range and 625 meter signal range on the top radio. So the main thing about the ISU-152 is its gun, the BL-10. And just using AP, standard AP ammo, take a look here. 286 penetration with 750 alpha damage. Now that is insane numbers compared to other Tier 8 tank destroyers. This penetration alone has more, well, it's more penetration than the IS-7, the IS-8, for example. And it's only at Tier 8. The premium rounds have 329 millimeters of penetration, just in case you need that extra little boost if you're going against a well-armored target. So now I'm going to compare it to the other Tier 8 tank destroyer, which is the ISU-101. So there are some big differences between these two tanks. The ISU-152 has only 20 extra hit points. ISU weighs more. It has a bigger engine, but it doesn't go as fast because the ISU-101 is clearly lighter, weighing only 34 tons. So that means the speed limit on the ISU-100 is way better. So the ISU-100 also has a better traverse speed, and it has more armor than the ISU-152. So far, it's looking like it's going to be better. A better tank in general. But then we get to the gun. The ISU-152 favors that high penetration, high alpha damage, but it suffers from a low rate of fire, 3.41 rounds a minute, while the ISU-101 fires much faster, but it doesn't have that same alpha damage that the ISU-152 has. And it also doesn't have that same fear factor that the BL-10 gives off to people you're shooting at. The ISU-101 does have a better view range, but at its, I think this is stock configuration, it doesn't have as good signal range. Yeah, so still looking at its top gun, only 219 penetration. with only 320 damage, but you do see that rate of fire increase. And with the top radio, you do get 730 meters of signal range. And the other thing about the ISU-101 is that it has zero, well, it's not zero, but it has pretty much no gun depression at all. Well, the ISU-152 doesn't have good gun depression, but at least it has more than the ISU-101. So, let's go take a look at the ISU-152 in Tank Inspector real quick, before we get onto the battles. Alright, so here's a replay in the ISU-152. When this replay occurred, I guess, we had been getting in a bunch of tier 10 battles. It was, I don't know how many consecutive battles were just tier 10. There was no tier 9 battles, no tier 8 battles, just strictly tier 10. And, of course, all of them had to be top Clan Wars players. So we had a rather large amount of competition to be going against. So on this map I always go over here to the northwest side. Go protect this flank usually. Enemy scout gets lit up. See if I can get a shot onto him. It looks like the IS-8's gonna get him first. But it turns out neither of us get him, as another one of our tank destroyers do. So it looks like nothing else is going to be coming around this rock here, so decide to move up. There's a Tiger 2, and there's going to be an M103 here, showing us their sides. I do get spotted, but I do get a very, very nice roll on that Tiger 2. 857 damage, sorry. So I back up around this rock, wait for the reload, which is about 15 seconds, so if you've been playing Russian tanks for a while, you'll understand that this is, another Russian reload time. M103, he's aiming at me, but I back off in time. But I do get 737 damage on him, so that's enough to make him back up again. And there he goes, right as soon as I come around this rock again. I do not think I had a very high chance of penetrating when he came out like that a few times. That's why I held my fire. And I'm just waiting here. See even if he'll come out again. I should be able to finish him off if RNG doesn't decide to give me a low roll. But it looks like he's gonna get killed anyways. I'm gonna move up here a little bit. Get closer to the action. T-54, have a potential shot onto him, but at this range, I'm not exactly sure I can penetrate his turret. And if I do hit him, that is, the accuracy of the BL-10 is not the greatest in the world. You can pull off some very interesting shots once in a while, but most of the time, I probably wouldn't have been able to hit him in the first place. Wait to see if he comes into a position where he exposes himself more. But he doesn't have much hit points now, so it's not even really worth it. And while I was kind of tunnel visioning right there, there was an Object 704, AMX 5100, and someone else down here as well. I think it was the Object 416. I'm gonna use this rock as cover, see if I can get another shot on them if they get lit up. And unfortunately, my friend over there in the Yak Tiger 88 gets spotted by them and takes a hit there. And he gets hit from the Object 704, finishes him off. So now we're just waiting here. There's the Object 416. Get a very low roll into him on the side of his turret. Only 636 damage. The average damage of this gun is 750. So that's over 100 less than the average damage. Which I guess I do deserve it because I did get 857 on the Tiger 2 earlier, which was really high. So I guess we have to get a really low one as well. But it doesn't matter. You're still doing 636 damage. That's quite a bit. So now we're just sitting here waiting for... I don't even know what we're waiting for. See which one of us is going to go first to their death. To the Object 704 and the AMX-5100. And over there, the E100, E75 are fighting it out over there. I know the E75 for sure is on low health. I'm not sure about the condition of the E100 though. But here, I get lucky. AMX 5100 on full health. Shoot him and catch him on fire. Did almost 950 damage. And in fact, if you look up at the top, XVM provides a little hit log, if you want to call it that. It only did 684 damage with that shell. But since I had the fire, it ended up doing almost 950. So another low roll. Hopefully we can get a higher one next time for sure. I could have helped the KV-4 out. I could have tried to shoot the AMX-5100 again. However, I jerked the mouse at the last second and wasn't exactly guaranteed a shot. So now I'm just gonna help out the T-125, support him, stay back, and don't get hit. Being a real tank destroyer. So he gets lit up, but he's unfortunately hiding behind a rock. The T-125 does get hit, but it's just a matter of time before the AMX gets killed. So now there's only one person left, the Object 704, and we know he's around the base somewhere. So everybody's moving up to take him out. And it turns out, as we'll find out in a few seconds here, that the Object 704 is just sitting in his base, waiting for his death, his ultimate demise. Speed it up a little bit here, and there he is. Now I'm trying to get up this hill as fast as I can, but like I said earlier in the garage, ISU, it's fast sometimes. But when you're going up a hill, you're not going to go going that really fast, but Object's down to 500 hit points. So running up here trying to get one last shell into him to finish him off. Looks like he's aiming at me, but I'm faster on the trigger just in case he was loaded. So let's go take a look at the results of this game. Alright, so got a second class mastery badge on this one, not bad. Only made 29,586 credits, but I did get 1,145 experience. Let's go see how I did compared to the rest of the team. So, damage-wise, I was third in damage done. And I was actually kind of surprised at this because being a tier 8 tank destroyer, you know, the tier 10s are supposed to be doing better than you. That just shows the power of the ISU-152. Even in Tier 10 battles, it can outplay Tier 10s. Beat the T-110E3, for example. Beat the Death Star. Let's go to a detailed report. 5 shots fired, 5 of them hit, for a total of 3,377 damage. I did damage 5 enemy tanks, destroyed one of them. Surprisingly, I did 392 spotting damage, which I wasn't expecting that at all. ISU-152 isn't much of a scout. And again, the only experience, well, not the only experience, the only cost that I had was on ammo, which left me with a nice profit. Ooh, what's this? Don't want that. For experience-wise, I got a little bonus. I guess there was some kind of an event going on, but I got an extra 229 experience, which made it 1,145. So is the ISU-152 worth it? Is it worth the grind? That's a most definite yes. The combination of its high damage, high penetrating gun, that just sells it. So thank you for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe for more, and we'll hope to see you soon.